morning. I love that you answer me back. My name is Meg Herman, and my pronouns are she, her, and I serve on your board of directors. It's my pleasure to welcome you this morning. If you are here for the first time, thank you for joining us. We look forward to getting to know you better. We invite you to fill out one of the visitors' forms that are in the pews. Everyone present in the sanctuary today is welcome to join us for our in-person community time immediately following the service. We have two brief announcements from Catherine Benowitz and then from Patricia Tucker Ladd. And here they are.
Thanks, Meg. Good morning. My name is Catherine Bendowitz, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am part of Ex Libris, the congregation's very own bookstore. During community hour today, I invite you to stop by Ex Libris, where you'll find a wonderful selection of books and gifts to support both your spirit and our congregation. Ex Libris is open this morning and every second and fourth Sundays of the month. Come say hello, browse, shop, have a chat, take something meaningful home with you. And our team is expanding. If you're seeking an avenue to deepen your connection with the congregation in a low commitment capacity, please speak with the Ex Libris team member. We have a book sticker on our name tags. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Patricia Tucker Ladd, and my pronouns are she, her. I would like to share some very exciting news with you that you may already have read about in the e-Beacon. Unity Temple has partnered with the Community of Congregations and has placed a brand new refrigerator and pantry right next door on the porch of Gale House. This is the second community fridge in Oak Park that they are currently supporting. We are asking our Unity Temple members to help stock the pantry with non-perishable items and the refrigerator with perishable items. We have some written information, half sheet here, about food items that are allowed and those that are not allowed. I can share this information with you after the service. By the way, there is a Facebook group too if people are interested. That information is here. We will also be collecting items at Unity on the first Sunday of every month, which in this case is next Sunday, and we hope those who can will participate. Please let us all make an effort to help our neighbors in need. Thank you.
We have one other announcement, and that is that there's a clarinet recital today, sponsored by the music program, here at 2:30. It's free and open to all, and I hope some of you will be able to come. We're so glad you're here with us today. I invite those of you here in the sanctuary to take a moment to greet each other.
My pronouns are she and her. Our chalice lighter today is Eric. Eric loves to go and listen to live music. Please join with me in the words of our chalice lighting. We are Unitarian Universalists. This is the church of the open minds, the loving hearts, and the helping hands. We take care of the planet Earth and each other.
Good morning. My name is Betsy Davis. My pronouns are her, she. I'm here to tell you about a religious experience I had lately in church. I arrived early one Sunday morning, well before the first service. So I went up to the top balcony, right there, where I was at that point completely alone. At first, I enjoyed sitting in the quiet before the service, as I often do, with my eyes closed, enjoying the rest after climbing all those stairs. Then I opened my eyes and looked down on the activity just beginning on the floor below me and saw the room preparing itself for the services. I saw Jane Coleman arranging the flowers on the chalice table, and Paul Redman setting out the offering baskets. Other people entered with other jobs to do, setting out the rest of the things on the table. Tom Walta setting out the music for the day. Brian Kenyon set out the microphones and then came up to the top balcony to prepare to monitor the sound. Then a child came in with an adult to practice lighting the chalice. And I felt, I belong here. Other people came in with no particular job to do, but to be there for the service. I saw many familiar people, some I've known for many decades. And I think, this is my place. I see increasing numbers of people whom I don't recognize. And I think, this is my community and theirs too. As I saw my community coming together, I think, this is my place, this is my community, I belong here. These people are alike in many ways and different in many others. Very different in ways I don't know and cannot see. Some of them later will add stones to our bowls of water to symbolize those things that I can't see. And I think, these are my people. I belong here. Sometimes during the coffee hour, I stand on the balcony in Unity House and look down on the floor and think, these are my people. The view up there is quite beautiful. I am so grateful for belonging to this lovely community that not only accepts, but grows in appreciating and encouraging many ways of being. Because I am autistic, this way of belonging is something I experience often and in many places, including here. Whoever you are, wherever you are in your life's journey, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome here. Please stand as you are willing and able and sing Have Nashira.
This Hebrew round, I will sing for you one time through, and of course, if you know it, please join me. And then we'll split into two parts, 1 and 2. Just follow me, you'll know what to do. All of us. Havana Shira, Shira, Alleluia. Havana Shira, Shira, Alleluia. Havana Shira.
standing. I wasn't quick enough, sorry. Please join me in reading the words of our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is his covenant, and in service is his prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. Thus, through covenant with each other and with God.
Good morning. My name is Vanessa Crowder. My pronouns are she, her, and I serve on your spiritual care team. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. Sharing the joys and sorrows of our lives with each other is one of the ways we embody love in our congregation. Those attending in person may share your joys and sorrows using the binder right outside the doors to the sanctuary. You can also email your joys and sorrows to us at spiritualcare@unitytemple.org. If you'd like to talk with someone about what's on your heart, feel welcome to contact the spiritual care team. We're here to listen and sit with you in times of both joy and sorrow. Here are the joys and sorrows that were shared this week. Emery Goss shares that Thursday morning, Stephanie, Emery, and big brother Arlo welcomed Sydney Janice into the world, and mom and baby are doing well. Please hold in your heart Myla Telez, who is recovering from knee replacement surgery on Thursday. Her healing is off to a good start, and lots of love for the wonderful team of family caregivers too. Linda Mosley would like to thank the congregation for their loving thoughts and kind words for her sister Jackie. After many years of terrible, debilitating illness, Jackie is finally pain-free and at peace. Michelle Barton's dad has been diagnosed with lung cancer and will be undergoing some radiation and chemotherapy soon. Prayers for health and healing are appreciated. And please hold Bert Anderson in your heart as he is at Loyola Hospital recovering from a fall. We know that we hold some joys and sorrows in silence. We invite anyone who has a joy or sorrow to come forward and drop a stone into the bowl of water at one of the 4 stations around the congregation, around the sanctuary. This ritual represents a mingling of our collective joys and sorrows. We invite you to engage in the spiritual practice of silence during this ritual. Let us begin.
words of blessing today from the Reverend Sean Parker Dennison. This piece is called Blessing for Kin. I wish you a single story, not a simple fairy tale with only happiness, but one life without secrets or omissions, without the need for fake faces, one pointed outward, the other inward and real. I wish for you the twin beauties of clarity and consistency, knowing this singular word that holds all of you together, all of you at once, all of you. I wish you no need to hide, no reason to live in shadows or half-truths, no need to cover the spark and sparkle of your heart to keep it from catching the light of sun or moon. I wish you wholeheartedness that arises from the liberty before needing to be freed, the completeness that precedes breaking, the integrity of your being, a unity, undivided and boundless. I wish you a far-reaching welcome from within, full and absolute acceptance, nothing withheld from yourself, unrealized or unfinished. And I wish you a place and a people who do not want you in pieces, incomplete and partial, a world that no longer asks anyone to wrench apart their heart or divide soul from mind, from nature, from core. I bless you with all that is whole. Amen. Blessed be. If you are somebody who likes to come close when you're listening to a story, you're invited to come and sit down on the floor near me. I have a book today called A Voice Like Yours. It's by Frank Murphy and April Groman, and pictures are by Kayla Heron. There have been more than 100 billion people who have ever lived in the world. Each had their own voice. Today, there are billions and billions and billions of people alive right now. Each of us has our own voice, too. And each voice is unique. Voices tell stories, make choices, and express feelings. So, use your voice, because the world needs a voice like yours. Voices are meant to be used. Some use their voices to express themselves through art. Some use theirs to vote and make changes. Some people use their voices to inspire or teach, and some help others express their own voice. Voices can be bold and loud or soft and quiet. Your voice can roar, your voice can whisper, or sing. Use your voice to show your feelings, your thoughts, and your hopes. Let your voice be the reason someone smiles. Speak up in the way that makes you feel like you. Voices are diverse. There are more than 7,000 languages spoken around the globe. Each and every one makes our world more beautiful. Some people use a language that is spoken with their hands. People who speak with sign language shape their words and stories in the air, and people listen with their eyes and hearts. Voices might need help. Many people can't share their thoughts and feelings by speaking. They can use tools to share their voices. Tablets help them express what they want to say with a touch of a button or tap of a picture, or even a gaze of their eye. Some voices are hesitant or shy or go unheard. Those voices might need yours to speak up, get loud, or lead the way. Voices connect people. One day you may be angry. Speak up. One day you'll make a mistake. Quiet your voice and listen. Sometimes people's words bump into each other, and that can happen in an argument or when people forget to be polite. Knowing when to speak and when to listen shows you're growing, so don't forget to listen to other voices. Listening is an act of kindness. Voices are meant to be shared. There are so many ways to share your voice. You might write with a crayon or chalk, a pencil or pen, a typewriter, if you're super old school, computer, or smartphone. A voice can be shared in a poem, or a family recipe, a love letter, or a postcard from far away. You can sing your words, you can draw your ideas, you can paint your dreams, you can vote for something you believe in. Your voice can be your superpower. Share your voice in ways that matter to you. It's your voice and nobody else's. Go out into the world and use your voice. Express your feelings, the things that matter to you, and your dreams. Your voice can make art and make change. It can inspire and teach, and it can lift up the voices of others. Your voice is unique, and the world will always need a voice like yours. The end. All right, we're going to send you to Unity House.
Good morning. Each week, Unity Temple splits the offering evenly. One half supports the programs and mission of our congregation, and this week, the other half goes to iCivics. Research confirms that students who receive a comprehensive and high-quality civic education are more likely to be informed and actively engaged citizens and voters. Founded in 2009 by Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, iCivics is dedicated to making civic education a nationwide priority so all young people have confidence that they can shape our country's future. iCivics provides lesson materials that are nonpartisan, standards-aligned, inclusive, and accessible. Their multifaceted resources cover elementary, middle, and high school and include meaningful adaptations for English language learners. Today, iCivics is a leading provider of civic education in the U.S., and their work is now used by 145,000 educators to teach 9 million students in all 50 states. iCivics also advances policy at the state and national levels. to make civic education a priority for the health and strength of our nation. You can learn more at vision.icivics.org. Directions for giving are in the back of the order of service and also on the screen. May you be transformed by your giving, and may the world be transformed by your gifts.
This reading is a piece from Lynn Unger. It's called Revolution. You say you want a revolution, and who could argue with that? Bad is avalanching into worse, and we are all in its path. But don't buy a gun. The people you would be fighting already have bigger guns and more will to shoot them. Don't bother arming yourself. Instead, disarm. Disarm yourself of assumptions and of your brittle belief that you know how things should be. Disarm yourself of expectations. You will be wrong. Disarm yourself of the need for comfort. Go lightly into places where you are a stranger. Disarm yourself of loyalty to what is normal but false. Pledge allegiance to the tree outside your window, to your neighbor's children, to the speed of light. Fill your arms with fruit, with flowers, with a dog or a cat or a lover or a mug of hot tea. Fill your body with singing or dancing or the scent of bay trees in the rain. Empty your world of all that fails to serve the revolution, that fails the test of the seventh generation. Commit to the revolution, and I promise we will win. Not, of course, that everything will be fine. It never is. Revolution isn't the same as victory. Revolution is the turning of a wheel whose essence is change. couple of weeks ago, I went to a meeting of the Culture, Climate, and Behavior Committee at Oak Park River Forest High School. It was an open call for community stakeholders to provide input for the Board of Education around creating a welcoming environment for students where all students experience a sense of belonging, among other things. I went not because I feel like I have any particular qualifications. I mostly went because I have a very fierce mama bear inside me that wants to make sure that we are looking out for all the kids. Yes, I have a son there, but I was also thinking about many other beloveds, kids who might be queer or trans or neurodivergent or who have IEPs or mental health challenges or are undocumented. Kids who might need some extra care or understanding to help them feel a sense of belonging at OPRF. Battles around these sorts of identities and issues, that is to say, battles around kids and belonging, are playing out all over the country in schools these days. And I just wanted to be there. I'm telling you this not because it is a story about battles, but because it is a story about icebergs. You've probably seen an image like this before. In this case, let's think of the iceberg like a person. Above the water level are all the things that are visible and obvious to the eye. How we are dressed, our skin tone, our hair, some indications of gender, our behaviors, our facial expressions and body language, and so on. Below the water level, though, are all the unseen things, the thoughts, the emotions, the perspectives, the stories and experiences that shape who and how we are in the world. That evening at that meeting, the leaders asked us to think about the conditions that allow people to lower the water level on the iceberg. That is, the conditions that make us feel safe enough to expose more of who we are. I had never thought of it that way, lowering the water level. At that meeting, in groups of 3, we were then invited to pick one piece of our identity and then share a story about how that frames who and how we are in the world. I took a deep breath and I talked about what it's like to be a woman married to a woman, married longer than it has been legally recognized, and still knowing that legality could be ruled on by the Supreme Court. The others listened and shared their stories, each very different from my own. I had walked into that room knowing only 1 or 2 people, but after that sharing, even in its vulnerability, I felt safer. I felt safer because I had been listened to. We all might have shared more given the opportunity. It helped lower the water level in the room. It helped increase the sense of belonging. As I'm thinking about that night and those stories, I think about how we weren't really answering the question, who are we? We were answering the question, whose are we? That is to say, to understand each of us, you have to have some sense of the relationships that we are part of, the communities to which we belong, the interconnected webs in which we find ourselves. Each of us is formed and informed over and over again by the people in our lives and by the communities we belong to. Building belonging is our theme for September, and it fits well with the calendar this time of year. It's a time for a new school year, a new program year, and so new relationships are forming, and many are making ourselves at home in new places, figuring out where we belong. Right now in the Jewish calendar, we are in the midst of the Days of Awe, the 10 days which begin with Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year celebration, and end with Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. It's a time for introspection on one's life. The Hebrew word teshuvah, which means return, captures the theology of this best, a kind of return to one's best self. This time on the Jewish calendar involves reflection and assessment, resolutions, asking for and granting forgiveness. It's about relationships and community and how we should be with one another and how we should be in the world. While I did not grow up Jewish, I did grow up in a neighborhood that was shaped by Judaism so strongly that it feels woven into my understanding of the world. As I think of the high holy days now, I appreciate the way it seems to me that mistake-making, forgiveness, and new beginnings for ourselves is considered a central part of the regular cycle of life for everyone each year. Mistakes and forgiveness and trying again are essential pieces of belonging. In Unitarian Universalism, we talk about love at our center, with justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity as our core values. These words and this shared understanding, though it doesn't say so in so many words, illustrate that belonging is essential to us too. We celebrate and honor differences. We see an inherent worth in each person. We know we are all connected and enriched by one another. We are covenantal, not creedal. That is, though we may not believe the same things, we do agree on how we will be with one another. I don't need to tell you that there is a battle waging on many fronts in our country, and it is a kind of a battle about belonging. There are ongoing federal attacks on immigrants, Black and brown people, the LGBTQ+, and most especially transgender community, and women in both word and deed. Oh wait, this week you can add those with autism to the list. I feel grateful to have a faith and a faith community which has clarity about who we are and what we should be doing in response to the world around us. Just this week, the Unitarian Universalist Association president, the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, issued a statement that said, "Our transgender, intersex, and non-binary beloveds, my family and yours, are not only real, but sacred, deeply beloved, and deserving of celebration, safety, and belonging." Absolutely, 100%. As I said earlier, there are plenty of beloveds whom I hold in my mind and heart who identify in this way. I am so grateful for each of them as individuals and what each of them has taught me about freedom to be who you are. Betancourt might also have said, "Our beloved people, whatever their immigration or citizenship status, are also deeply beloved and deserving of celebration, safety, and belonging." Also, yes, 100%. Every single person in the United States is either indigenous to this land, Native American, or can trace their lineage back to another country of origin. Every single one of us. Immigration in our own histories is just a matter of when that happened, last week or hundreds of years ago. Betancourt might also have said, "All our neurodivergent people are sacred, deeply beloved, and deserving of celebration, safety, and belonging." Also, yes, 100%. We heard a completely false narrative this week about how autism is caused by Tylenol. This is problematic on about 1 million levels. And the number one is that it casts neurodivergence as a problem. It is, instead, one of the many amazing varieties of humanity. I came across this poem from David Gate this week called Cicadas. It says, "If I had a button that I could simply press to take away your autism, I wouldn't press it. But if I could click my fingers to understand how you look upon the world as uniquely as you do, I would click them so fast and so often it would sound like an army of cicadas." I'm so grateful this morning to Betsy, who shared a little of her experience of belonging and her experience of being autistic. For our Unitarian Universalist community, we answer the questions of whose are we by considering the interdependent and widely diverse web we create here. We show up here in many different ways, and as one of your ministers, I aspire to lower the water level on the icebergs so more connections and more belonging can happen. Betsy helped put voice to some of the wide varieties of ways people participate and feel they belong here. Maybe her story helped you feel that in some way. Maybe you are one of the people, maybe you feel like Sunday morning worship attendance is the belonging you need right now. Maybe you are one of the people who we don't even know about who watch virtually. Maybe you wish to be more connected or differently connected and are ready to join our small group Soul Connections program, or sing with the choir, or help run sound, or volunteer with our young people, or walk in the woods with Sacred Wanderings, or. What a gift it is to be part of a faith community with so much pluralism, with so many opportunities for transformation. Our whose are we is a big, wide open question that keeps expanding, because for us, love is at the center. You offer us a gift by being here and sharing your voice. It is, as in our story for all ages, true that the world will always need a voice like yours. The question of whose are we is central to our lives right now in 2025 in the United States. In our society whose infrastructure and safeguards are more fully crumbling than they have before, we must ask, to whom do we belong? What are the gifts and obligations of that? To whom are we responsible and accountable? For whom are we willing to fight and make sacrifices? How will we live out our values and our faith? In response to one of the recent attacks on free speech, I canceled our family's subscription to Disney Plus and Hulu. And also, before we lost access, I decided to rewatch the show Andor, which has taught me so much about authoritarianism and resistance. So ironic. Much of it could be about where we are right now. In what turned out to be an Emmy-winning episode, Senator Mon Mothma makes a courageous speech to her colleagues. She says, "I believe we are in crisis. The distance between what is said and what is known to be true has become an abyss. Of all the things at risk, the loss of an objective reality is perhaps the most dangerous. The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil. When truth leaves us, when we let it slip away, when it is ripped from our hands, we become vulnerable to the appetite of whatever monster screams at us the loudest." Mon knows that this speech puts her in danger, and by prearrangement, she meets someone who will help transport her to a safe place. Even as she has done this very brave thing already, as they run from their pursuers, she says to her rescuer, "I'm not sure I can do this." And he responds by saying, "Welcome to the rebellion." Being part of the rebellion is both doing things you aren't sure you can do, even while knowing you have to do them because your values and faith are telling you to. And in a world where monsters are screaming loudly, we must turn to our own values and faith for guidance, for helping us to see whose we are and how we can keep each other safe. Friends, if ever there was a time to put our values and faith into action, this is it. If ever there was a time that we needed to push ourselves out of our comfort zones, this is it. I know we are all experiencing this other truth expressed in Andor. The pace of oppression outstrips our ability to understand it. And that is the real trick of the imperial thought machine. It's easier to hide behind 40 atrocities than a single incident. There is work to do, resistance to be lived everywhere we turn these days. ICE is literally grabbing our neighbors off of the street for no cause and without due process, and attacking peaceful protesters at their facility in Broadview. If you can risk your physical safety, those protests might be a place for you. At the very least, know the number of the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights to call if you see ICE in action, and how to do it. 855-435-7693. People are hungry. If you have the resources, bring some food to the community fridge and pantry on Gale House porch. If you need food, take some. Spread the word. Also, or call your reps, check on your neighbors, interrupt harmful conversations, boycott, build community, go to school board meetings. However you do it, remember, as in our story, go out in the world and use your voice. Express your feelings, the things that matter to you, and your dreams. Your voice can make art and make change. It can inspire and teach, and it can lift up the voices of others. Your voice is unique, and the world will always need a voice like yours. There's a little moment in the beginning of Andor Season 2 when a character is about to take a huge risk for the resistance, and she says to the title character, Andor, "Is it worth it, fighting the Empire?" And Andor replies, "You're coming home to yourself. You've become more than your fear." And so she did the thing, kind of like Mon Mothma, who was doing the thing even while she was saying, "I'm not sure I can do this." Honestly, I think that all the time these days. And like them, well, mostly I go ahead and do it anyway. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a meeting of the Culture, Climate, and Behavior Committee at Oak Park River Forest High School. I almost didn't go. It was a Wednesday night. It was already a 2-evening meeting week. I didn't know the space. I didn't know who the players would be. I didn't know what would happen. All things that are particularly difficult for me. But I took a deep breath, I channeled my fierce mama bear energy and went. And I made some connections, I learned some things, I contributed my voice and presence, I helped lower the water level on my own and others' icebergs. I helped embody the world I want to live in. Even if you are thinking, "I'm not sure I can do this," even if I am thinking, "I'm not sure I can do this," even if we are thinking that, what matters is that we are doing it anyway. And this helps me to know, and in fact, truly and totally believe, I am sure that we can do this. We can do this because we know our own faith and values and how to put those into action. We can do this because every one of us has something valuable to contribute with our voice and action. We can do this because we know whose we are, and whose we are all the beautiful and amazingly diverse people in our communities, and we will care for one another, protect one another, and create the world we want to live in. And so, may it always be. I invite you to rise as you're willing and able and join in singing, "Guide My Feet." Our closing words are from 1 Corinthians. Keep alert, stand firm in your faith, be courageous, be strong. Let all that you do be done in love. Please join with me in the words of our chalice extinguishing. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.